Hey everyone, it's Bree with Reason Rituals, and I'm back with a reading. So I just finished doing some filming, and this is like the first day where I did like a bulk amount of filming, and yeah, like I tried a routine that I never tried before, and we'll see how long I can keep it up. I have to just keep trying different methods until I get one that works for me. So basically what I wanted to talk about was back at the end of 2023 and even the beginning of this year, 2024. I am gonna say this is a timeless reading, but for the time period that we're in, for the sake of that, you've been cutting out people, places, things, habits that haven't been serving you, collective. And I know my candles are lopsided because I was just filming videos for TikTok, and usually I let it cool, but I just had to get this one out the way before I got too tired, and I'm just done making excuses. You could be done making excuses, and you could still be grieving the past, like even though you know that you made the best decision for you and for your growth and things like that. It still hurts, and I feel like, collective, you've been doing your due diligence and putting whatever practices in place you need to put to assist with your healing. You could have cut out some relationships or partnerships or things that were really dear to you or just long term, and they hurt. And there's a period, there's like 5 stages of grief, and I think I was online the other day and it was saying it was like 6 or 7 stages of grief now, but there's at least the main 5 that we know about: the denial, the anger, the bargaining, the depression, and the acceptance. And it's a reason why I'm taking deep breaths, because I'm a part of the collective too, and so this reading could potentially resonate for me as well. And I'm just I'm ready to hear what the universe and spirit has to say about what's been going on, because in the pre-shuffles I got the Moon card, 5 of Cups in reverse, the Sun, and King of Pentacles. So even though you've cut a lot of things out with the King of Pentacles, you're more stable than you ever have been. I'm hearing like you didn't lose anything. Like, you, if anything, you gained, and you're more stable than you ever have been. It just doesn't feel that way because it feels like a void. You could be dissociating, or could have dissociated. You could be replaying memories in your head. It's because if you had to set those boundaries, right, whatever those boundaries were, even if it was low contact, physical space, no contact, whatever it was, from the people, place, thing, habit, if you had to set the boundary and you got blowback, or you notice your life started to get better, more peaceful, more, easy going, doors started opening up, you started doing shadow work, um, working through blockages. It sounds like you made the right decision. It's just that void is still there regardless. So, and at the top of this chakra deck, it's the heart chakra. So yeah, you could be going through heart chakra clearing right now. This says, I'm able to trust my heart. So just being able to trust that you made the right decision. And, as more time passes, you start to forget the bad, and you get into that bargaining period, like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. But I'm hearing for a lot of the collective I'm reading for, this was a long time coming. You've hesitated in setting these boundaries and cutting off these contacts. I know I also read for a lot of empaths, standing on business with these narcissistic energies. So, especially if they've been in your heart chakra and they've been sitting there taking up space for so long, it's like you basically had to rip the band-aid off. And so your heart chakra is throbbing because you've overgiven. And so it's like your heart has to kind of like shrink back into place. And it's not like you have a huge, big heart, massive, and you overgave. So in a way, you have to shrink it and then redirect it into yourself. And I'm hearing like when you rip a band-aid off of a wound and it's throbbing, it has to, like, your skin, your cells have to recalibrate. And like I was explaining on TikTok, like your heart chakra is fluttering, like it's jumping out of your chest, like the energy doesn't know where to go. And so it's kind of just spewing out in the form of negative self-talk, worrying, pity. I'm also hearing, you're feeling the energetic repercussions of the feelings of the people around you that you let go, or the things around you. You have a throat chakra card on top of the deck again. I'm just kind of pulling from the top. I'm able to tap into the healing energy that surrounds me. This is a thyroid awakener. So listening to like the chakra frequencies on YouTube, like the hertz, like 323 hertz. I'm not sure about the numbers. I'm just saying, for example, like 896 hertz. I'm not sure like exactly what hertz it is, but those chakra aligning frequencies while you sleep, or when you wake up, or just when you take a nap, and just meditate and see what comes to mind, or journal. Either way, it's hard to really find a surefire way to alleviate this pain. It's just kind of something that you need to go through. And with that moon card, it was upright in the pre-shuffles. It's like you're weary and anxious about how you're gonna feel, but it just has to be felt. And I'm hearing like you could have already taken like time off from things that you usually do. With Page of Cups coming out, you could have even thought about like reopening that door, but I'm hearing from Spirit to stand on business and to don't remember why you did what you did, and don't make any sudden movements, especially if this was like an emotionally damaging connection you were in. What else? Yeah, you have a new beginning coming up with the Ace of Pentacles, and I'm hearing a lot of things were cleared out and the universe is congratulating you. And it's very difficult to just sit with that feeling. Spirit, can I get some advice cards about um, how to handle this pain? Because, you know, maybe you've been delaying this for a while. Because see, Six of Cups in reverse, Six of Hearts in reverse. These, whoever you cut off, like, they weren't good for you. So you could be in the bargaining or denial stage, a mixture of the first three stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression. Actually, it's like you fluctuate from each step, and there's no time frame on it. Like, you could have been delaying this, like I said, because you knew once you made that move, like, it was really no turning back. Or once you got in that mindset, like, things would never be the same. Even if you would have kept in contact, things would never be the same in your mind. You got the Hermit, so you've been going within and finding that light at the end of the tunnel, and it's like you want it to end. You could be feeling sluggish in your mind. You could have physical energy, but no, not mental energy. Like, I'm feeling like your chest constricting. These could have been long-term friendships, family members, ex-husband, ex-wife, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, childhood friend. And we have the Tower. And the pre-shuffles, it was Tower in reverse. So it's like honestly, it's what I'm getting is each day could feel like a Tower moment. Because I've been getting, every time I do a pre-shuffle, like, I've been getting in the habit of, like, trying to shuffle cards at least once a day just to check the energy. And the Tower's been coming out every single day. And I'm like, okay, Spirit, like, what's the clarifier for why the Tower? And it's like each day, like, feels like you're like a tower. Each day you have to wake up and feel the loss. It's like another Tower moment within a Tower moment. And in the pre-shuffles, I got Tower in reverse. Yeah, look, separation in reverse. Yeah, because of a connection that was had. It was, it was unbalanced, unequally yoked, low vibrational versus high vibrational, empath versus narcissist. The cards are saying that's the truth. So each day is like another, like, mini Tower moment. And it's like it's just like you wake up and then you go to sleep, you feel relief, and then you wake up and then it starts again. Like, you're actively grieving collective, and maybe you've never had to grieve, like, for someone before. I don't know if you ever lost a loved one due to not being alive, but it's almost like the same thing, because, like, in your mind they aren't anything to you anymore, like. And so, Four of Cups, but there's still, the universe is saying there's something better on the other side if you just hang in there. The Four of Cups, the universe is offering you what you've been wishing for on the other side with the Lovers. You have a choice. I mean, you could always reinitiate this, or reestablish your boundaries, or rethink your boundaries. But Spirit is saying with the Lovers, like, really think about this, because the hardest part's been done. The actual cutting off, the actual distancing, the setting of the boundary is the hard part. With Temperance, yeah, things are going to come into balance. It may hurt now, and no one can put a time frame on grief. You could be feeling this for years, but with time, the wounds will become easier to bear. You'll be used to bearing this. The High Priestess in reverse. Yeah. Let's get a clarifier for that. Your mind could be going, because my mind just went blank. Like, I know how to read cards, but the High Priestess in reverse. So you could be like making up your own storylines or narratives. You could be like overthinking about what the narcissist is thinking and feeling and what they're saying about you, when it's like you're focusing on, I'm not going to say the wrong thing, because that's part of grief, is like wondering like what the other party is thinking, but it's like you're getting caught up in the negative. Clarify. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. Like you're juggling negative mindsets about something that it's like you in a way you already know, like you already could see through these people. It was just a matter of time. So you already know, if you were to open up that door again, what you would be going back to. You already know the whole situation with the High Priestess in reverse. You already know everything there is to know. And it's just making radical acceptance and practicing mindfulness. So it's practicing staying in the present moment and just accepting that it wasn't an ideal relationship, it wasn't an ideal partnership. And of course, especially with family, like in reality check, you can't choose your family. So just, accepting the fact that your family failed you and they aren't unconditionally loving, they're transactional and conditional. A lot of them could have been gossipers. They could have stolen from you, stolen energy, stolen time, stolen money. They could have invalidated you, bullied you, made fun of you. Like, the whole situation for what it is. It's just accepting that it's a slow burn. And no one can tell you really how to grieve. You got Earth sign, so I'm getting the Devil card. Like, this could have been a very unhealthy attachment and you're freeing yourself. We got months and working hard. So work on the things that you're passionate about whenever you feel like you're able to, or just try to focus on your work. And I know, that sounds like a typical response. And waiting room. So you have waiting room months. Because this could be even affecting your crown chakra, because it's almost like when you rip off the band-aid of a long-standing attachment, it's like these people affect the way you think, or these environments, like they affect the way you think. And you're like, how do I think? How do I act? How do I feel safe? How do I feel secure? And I believe the working hard card, I wrote that in red pen. So yeah, that's grounding your root chakra by, focusing on your work. I'm hearing things that you're passionate about, not actually your work. But I mean, that could be helpful too, but that gets old. So working hard at what you're passionate about. So try to focus on what aspects of life they were holding you back from, or the environments or habits was holding you back from. And then once you realize and come to terms with that again in your conscious mind, start to actually work towards the goal that you were aiming towards. Like, you knew once you cut whatever off, it would open up room for something else. So instead of focusing on backwards thinking, you could be lonely right now with the Hermit card and lonely. And people in general cling to your energy, chosen one, collective. So, you're in a very vulnerable space. And also in the pre-shuffles, I got Magician in reverse. So you're privy to attract, a lot of the same stuff, because you're ruminating, because you're grieving. And so you're only bound to attract what you just left. Like, you haven't made too much movement in opposite direction as of yet. And so if you do wish to talk to people, just don't take it serious and just talk to people just to talk, just to um, just to pass the time, but don't put too much stock into it. So you have the Page of Cups. So we have it twice. So, and see how she's kneeling at the river and, sticking the cup out. Like, don't force yourself to drink or take an offer just because you're grieving. And if you do decide to spend time, don't take it too serious and don't force it. Don't force a connection. Yeah, we got the Magician in reverse again in the actual reading, because these energies are going to play off your vulnerabilities, and you may just feed into it because it's what feels good, but then you're going to have to just do a whole nother energetic clearing of whoever you're connecting to at this point, and then it's going to be harder for you energetically to recalibrate yourself to homeostasis. And we have the Hanged One in reverse. So you're already enlightened to all of this. It's kind of like practicing self-restraint and self-discipline and reparenting yourself, because I'm hearing a lot of you could have been like your own parent growing up, or you had to grow up fast, or people could have called you mature for your age. You have the Death card. So you're going through a transformation and practicing self-discipline. Where do I put this one? So you're learning how to protect yourself, and you're developing your own sense of morals and your own sense of right and wrong. Seven of Cups reverse. So I feel like you're very enlightened, and you see the situation for what it is. You're not confused. You're just in pain. That's really what it is. You're just in pain. And even at the top of the chakra deck, there's like two or three more, or at least two more heart chakra cards at the top. So your heart chakra is going through, I feel like your heart chakra was overactive, and you're trying to like center your heart chakra. Let me take a moment and get a sip of water and my vape. So don't forget to breathe. You could be like holding your breath and like thinking about the past, and then like having a trauma response, and like you could be holding your breath, or like staying up longer or sleeping in longer. So try not to like oversleep, because that's part of like depression, is sleeping too little or too much. But I mean, of course you have to go through it. So if I'm sure in the beginning a lot of y'all could have just been stuck in one spot or not able to really move, because when you are in pain and mentally, it does manifest physically. But as you heal, just try to be mindful of like it getting in the way of the real reason why you did it in the first place. So I feel like that's what Spirit is saying, like being mindful of like the reason. Whenever you start to feel like off balance or off center, think of the reason why you did this in the first place, and consider like grief therapy or speaking to a therapist, a professional. I don't know, I'm obviously not a professional myself, but from Spirit, what I'm channeling is try to seek professional counseling. Don't just go to anyone. Or if you do, maybe just kind of like spin the story off of a stranger or someone you don't really know that well, just to kind of get it off your chest every once in a while. So meditation with frequencies, getting your body moving. So walking, maybe doing some like purging, dancing, not necessarily listening to sad music, but just, just music that evokes feeling, like, um, that kind of reflects how you feel, the frustration, the tenacity, and it may express anger, but not necessarily like all one emotion, but just moving music that heals you. You know how you listen to a song and it makes your eyes well up and you feel like you purged. Like the energy I'm getting is spirit wants us, the universe wants us to purge these feelings, not keep them inside and sit in one place, but actively working through the pain. Even me, for example, I've had to cut things out of my life over the years, and even recently in the last few months. And there was times where, like, I knew I had to journal. Like, my throat chakra was like completely just numb, and I had all these thoughts in my head, but I literally had the pen on my notepad, and I was just sitting there, and then, like, the pen would not move, and I'm like, it just wouldn't move, and I had to like force myself. Like, I literally had to just, I was trying to write like a storyline of what was going on and how I was feeling, but I wasn't even able to do that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna start writing bullet points. I just wrote it bullet points, and I would only write like 1 or 2 words per bullet point, and then, or just one word, like one-liners, and it would just, and I couldn't even write like one line going down. I couldn't even write like from up to down. Like, I was writing like all over the page in different spots, and then just circling things and like drawing little arrows to it, because I couldn't even get it out on paper. Like, that's how paralyzed I was with, the feeling of, changing my whole way of life, and not knowing what lies ahead, and the pain of something so familiar being gone. And what else? It's like I knew something existed on the other side, and I still know that. But like, when you actually make that move, that first move, and like it's there, like it's paralyzing even, and to some, and that was just how I reacted. And I just said that to say, like, everyone reacts to pain differently, and when people say journal, or healing or dancing or whatever, it's different for everyone. Maybe just standing in one spot and doing some squats, or doing some chair exercises, sitting in a chair. Like, no one's asking you to do some grand gesture. It's kind of like whatever your body, whatever your mind will allow you to do. Or sometimes I get a random thought and I just jot it down in my notes app, or a few words and things like that. Or even if that's hard, one thing I've been doing for many years now is audio diaries, or just taking out the voice memos and then just talking. So just trying to just release and purge is really what's essential. But sometimes you do have to just sit and stare at the wall, or sit and stare at your hands, or maybe you fix dinner and then you just, and 2 hours later your dinner's still sitting there full plate. Sometimes it's however your body, however your mind needs to process. But, I'm really feeling like a heaviness. I'm feeling like an eerie energy too. You could be experiencing like supernatural things as well, because when you're experiencing grief and your crown chakra is affected and energies are being removed, something fills the void, and sometimes when you dissociate, you know, you could be experiencing some paranormal things happening. Maybe you could be seeing things out the corner of your eye, like hearing things, your clairaudience. But that's what the whole grounding is for, with purging, because you don't want to start living with reality check. You don't want to start living in a false reality. Um, you don't want to be in a fantasy either. So, sometimes creating scenarios or delusions could help you in the short term, but in the long term, you're just going to have to pull yourself out of a deeper hole than before. But, if these things have already happened, that's all part of the process. It's just things to be mindful about. So I'm going to take a moment, and I'm just getting a lot of channeled messages. I know I haven't pulled cards in a little bit of time. I'm going to start pulling some cards, but I'm feeling this like sluggish energy. It's like you get these bursts of energy and then these periods of sluggishness. So yeah, this is definitely like a grieving, mourning energy. You're a high vibrational person, collective, and so as a high vibrational person that's grieving, you're very magnetic. You could be experiencing like random acts of kindness, or just people in general like being really nice to you, or like kind of babying your energy. It's like the universe is reflecting back to you love, through like, maybe, when you go places, like people are just kind of being extra nice, and you just kind of feel that energy, like people are just showing you more like energetic sympathy or energetic grace, because the universe understands what you're going through and trying to offer you like an energetic hug, like offering you solace in your environments, like kind of like no one's really giving you a hard time right now. Confirmation with the incense thing dropping off. But yeah, so like the universe is kind of giving you energetic solace. So it's like, of course, there's things that happen in life, that could be favorable or not favorable. However, I feel as though with the supernatural stuff that could be happening, it could just be the universe reminding you you're not alone, and to not be scared of the unseen realms. Just kind of take precaution. You could be feeling connected to nature, like watch how animals are acting at this time. Watch how the animals move. Like squirrels, birds could be significant. Cats and dogs could be significant. Just kind of like common stuff that you see in nature, common animals, and then domesticated animals could be significant. Just kind of see how they react, because they, animals, purely are like instinctual, and they are instinctual, before anything else. So try to tap into your primal energy if you start to feel like out of control or like feeling like you're coming out of your body. Just kind of don't judge yourself or don't be afraid to be looked at a certain way. Just whatever brings you comfort and ease and safety in that moment, to implement that. So, try to maybe, as far as deity communication, let's pull some cards. Like, try to work with, like a weather god or goddess to aid you in, you know, because this is kind of like your own internal storm that you're going through, as far as like, because you've already won, you know. And a few readings ago I was talking about the big boss. You've already, in a way, it's, you know, it's like, it's weird to say, but it's like you've already, you know, quote unquote defeated the big boss, and now you're in this Three of Wands energy. You're waiting. We have waiting room, Three of Wands, months. So yeah, this is not something that's gonna just pass easily. Why do I keep saying that word? Like, easy. Yeah, like, this is not an easy feat. Like, it's not, but things that are, the rewards are gonna be so fulfilling and so worthwhile. I'm hearing. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. You're gonna be this stable, nurturing, strong, steadfast energy. And then the difference is gonna be, this time around, you're not gonna have any fuck shit ass people in your energy. You're not gonna have any fuck shit ass environments or no habits. You're gonna be the Queen of Pentacles 2.0, okay? And the waters are looking murky right now, but, you know, Page of Wands in reverse. Yep, so you could be feeling like whatever immediate efforts you're doing it isn't gonna help much. Like, whatever you're doing right now isn't gonna make a difference. But one day you're gonna look back on this and you're gonna remember each step. You're gonna remember how you felt when you were, after you had just come out of it, and then a few months, a few weeks, a few days, a few months. You know, this says months, so I'm hearing like by the time we get to a year from now, so many significant changes and upgrades will have taken place, and you will be resting in your power instead of like stressing in your power. Oh, I feel like I'm preaching today. I feel like I got like this pastor feeling, like prophesying, like instead of stressing and fighting for your power, fight or flight, you're gonna be resting in your power. Like, you're gonna be holding steady in your power. Like, that's the difference. In a lot of us have never really felt that. Like, we've always had the power, but we didn't know how to harness it, how to, you know, with the easy word, like we didn't know how to like render or hold or possess the power with ease and steadfastness and tenacity and like what's the bottom of the deck? 5 to 9. So yeah, 5 to 9 months from now, you know, let's clarify. Yeah, surrender, bottom of the deck. So just surrender, because I'm like trying to figure out what else to say, but it's just like the universe wants us collective to surrender to this process. You know, you could be huffing and puffing, and you know, like it's not a lot of people have the strength to do this. Sacrifice, throat chakra. I mean, think of how many people go their whole lives staying in these toxic karmic connections and never seeing a way out, and then projecting this envy, jealousy, hate, gossip on those who actually do this, because they, you know, you actually collective, you had the strength to stand on business and get out of a situation. Like, in a way, this is like life or death too, because, you know, like spiritually being depleted inside, like not wanting to pursue your dreams, not wanting to be creative anymore, not wanting to just go through the motion, wanting to just get up, you know, eat, go to work, come home, you know, feed your family, go to bed, and wake up, rinse, repeat, and no purpose. Like, at least you know that on the other side, you're going to be resting in your power, found. You're going to actually find yourself. And you think, and I'm hearing from spirit, you think, I'm speaking for myself too, like, collective, we think we found ourselves when we found spirituality, when we became alchemists, but we will really feel like a new level, a paradigm of finding, like, we won't even know, like, what's that song by Leon LaHavas, Lost and Found, isn't that what it's called, Lost and Found? It'll be a new degree of finding yourself. Degree is a word I'm using because, yeah, like something in my own life was like, I kept thinking about the word degree, and then, so new degrees. So like, you may have already felt previous degrees of healing, of self-love, of self-care, of power, of independence, but once these, you know, once a year or so has passed and you're in this new phase, it'll be like a whole new degree. It'll a level up, a whole nother level up will have taken place at that point. You know, you're ascending on a steady incline, you know, instead of plateauing like a lot of us do. And you know, that's no judgment on anyone, but you know, it's honestly, it's miserable down that path. And you know, we've already done the work, collective, to get to the point of where we are. And with wrong turn, the only thing we really can do is to keep moving forward, because if we don't, like, anything, and this card kept coming up in the pre-shuffles for days too, the Tower and wrong turn. So it's like, anything else, any other alternative, you know, way of going about this would have been a wrong turn, and it would have been a Tower moment in the negative way, because it was to the point where, like, what canceled, like, it had to be cut off, or else, like, it was gonna just keep depleting, keep taking from us. Whatever you removed had to be, like, with a capital H, had to be canceled, had to be removed. Like, this was affecting your root chakra, your sense of safety, your sense of security, your sense of belonging. And I'm definitely hearing belonging, because a lot of us chosen ones have been ostracized from groups, or have had to ostracize or remove ourselves from groups We've always been the outlier, the odd one out, the sore thumb. And finally, and I even got Five of Pentacles in reverse. Even though we may be the Hermit and we may be lonely, we're actually in the Five of Cups. Five of Cups too, but Five of Pentacles in reverse. We're out of the cold because we're retreating back into our heart space in a way that's balanced, that's what do you call that? What do you call that? What's that word? It's I'm not gonna say restricting, but like it's like you're reparenting yourself, so you're learning how to like appropriate, delegate your energy. Like you're pulling in your energy for the better. Like you were overextending, and even if you weren't acting, you were absorbing all that negative energy and then overextending yourself in the form of stress, worry, and then it would affect every area of your life. With how many times, like how long, excuse me, confirmation. I was like 3 burps. So yeah, triple confirmation. How many times, how much longer were you gonna were you gonna continue to let this go on? Like at some point, like Spirit was like, I gotta do something. Like, if it gets that bad, like Spirit is gonna have to pull you out. But with surrender, Spirit doesn't want to have to make decisions for you. I mean, I know some of us may think of Spirit or God or the universe as like our divine parent, but we're meant to come into our own identity and develop our own morals, and the universe is our co-creator. It's not our dictator. It's not the universe. Spirit does not want to make decisions for you. Spirit does not want to tell you what to do. Whatever decision you make, right or wrong is up to you. Of course, there's negative and positive, and the universe will boomerang back what you put out, and it's not meant to make, decisions like that. Sometimes Spirit will, shake things up, your guides, your ancestors, but ultimately it's up to you to maintain what's taken place. So you have water sign. You could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Clarify water sign, universe. Yeah, 3 of Swords. Yeah, this was in the pre-shuffle. So yeah, you're going through heartbreak. So you could be in your water energy. Like I said, to try to work with like a weather god or goddess. So yeah, you're actively going through heartbreak. Anything else? Ace of Wands. So yeah, you could with the Page of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Wands in reverse, you could just be feeling like down in the dumps, kind of like hopelessness a little bit, like hopeless, like what's the point in doing X, Y, and Z if I'm feeling this way, but still showing up for yourself. You're in the process of saving yourself. This is the end game. Like you're already this, but a new degree of Queen of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. Like, look how it's just resting on her lap, and just it's like effortless, but you can't see how much effort has really gone into the Queen of Pentacles becoming that way, you know, so you're gonna look effortless, but this don't, what do you call it, don't underestimate your actions right now that you're taking to heal yourself, to protect yourself, to comfort yourself, because all of this is going into your transformation with the death card that we got. I forgot, oh, it's right here. And see how this person is levitating. So it's almost like, you know, forget how other people look at you, but it's like when you come out of the other side of this, it's like people are gonna think you're like a real like living god or goddess, and you already could identify as such, you know. Like people are like gonna be like, damn, like this person is like the shit. Like you're gonna be like levitating, like Jesus walking on water type shit. Because who can really say, who do you know? You're probably the only person, or very few people you know, who've gone this journey. This is Robert Frost, The Road Less Traveled By. Like this is just so significant. And you know, sometimes just taking the time to see the bigger picture with sacrifice, the sacrifice you're making for your greater good, for your highest good. You know, you're the Hermit right now. You're going to end up this Queen of Pentacles. Very stable, but nurturing and loving and not jaded. You know, jade, you could be feeling jaded. A lot of green, a lot of heart chakra and crown chakra energy. So grounding your heart chakra and your crown chakra energy could be significant. The Hierophant in reverse, this is not a traditional path that you're taking. And so it's understandable that you're feeling isolated more than usual, and you feel like you don't have anyone to like pour yourself into. But that's kind of why the world in general is, or you know, what the universe is reflecting back to you is like is solace. Yeah, 6 of Wands. So you already have the victory. You already won. It doesn't feel like that at all, you know, because every day you feel these mini tower movements. Every day you feel your heart sunken in. Every day you are trying to decipher, you know, what's going on psychically, you know. It could be, you know, other spirit, like I said, paranormal activity, like spirits wanting to, you know, interact with you from the other realms, from the other side. But you do have a vulnerable energy, and if you do engage in anything that changes your mental state, you know, to just take heed, because you know, you're very energetically sensitive and vulnerable. But Ouija boards could be significant. You know, tarot, Ouija, you know, it's similar in a way, but in its own respects, it has its own, it's separate lanes, but it depends. But either way, Ouija boards can be significant. Just make sure that you do the appropriate cleansing, that you look up, you know, how to communicate properly with the realm. And of course with tarot, you're automatically channeling the realm, but Ouija boards in particular, with like different things coming down and making sure you know how to, you know, appropriately address the spirits. But I'm hearing, you know, that could be significant for, you know, some spirits on the other side could have some messages for you. Page of Pentacles in reverse. You could be feeling like, um, there's nothing for you right now to gain. Once again, just feeling like this stagnant energy, because, when you go through something like grief, it does, um, it seals whatever you're going through in time. Like, when you grieve something, usually it's a time in your life that you never forget, and eventually, it'll it'll just be, a bittersweet time in your life. And yep. But I'm hearing like this could kind of be like another, if you haven't gone through this already, a form of a dark night of the soul. Like, you're in the void now, or you're back into the void. Like, maybe you've already had your initial dark night of the soul, and now you're an evolved spiritual being, living this human experience. And now it's kind of like you jumped into the void. And there's like a YouTuber, Christina or something like that. I don't know, but they break down the different parts of the dark night of the soul, and then there's this part called the void. And so you can feel like you're in a void, and you have to create something out of nothing. Yep, that's what I'm getting. So let's see, where am I at on time? Let's see if I can. Okay, so it's about to be that time to wrap up almost. Or just kind of start. I'm still trying to think of the title of this. I'm thinking of that album by Kendrick Lamar, that Untitled album. And then and on that same album, he had that song called Levitate. And the whole album was untitled. It just had like timestamps or something on it. So this could be like a void period of where there's no labels. It's not like you're not moving forward. Like, each day that goes by, you're making movement. Maybe you feel like you're going sideways, back and forth. Yep, so let me just take a little pause again. I'm hearing, don't be afraid to change up the pace either. Like, if you're used to doing something at a certain rate, don't be afraid to speed it up or slow it down. So let's say like you have your own business or something, and you usually work 4 hours a day. Maybe, you want to just work, 6 hours, or maybe you only want to work 2 hours. Don't feel bad, because you know what you're going through. And of course that's going to affect, your output. Maybe you do have to make some adjustments to your budget because of what you're going through with the whole Page of Wands in reverse, because it's like, oh, okay, now my money's getting affected. Now I can't do X, Y, and Z, or now I have to switch things up. Of course, things are gonna inevitably domino effect into other areas of your life. But once again, the bigger picture is that overall, your rate of growth in the future will be the highest it's ever been. And as I'm shuffling this deck, I got the Fave card. So you could have been like, whoever these narcissists or whatever environments, whatever you cut yourself off from, you could have been like their favorite target, you know what I'm saying? So like you could also be feeling their projections too. Not even could be, like I'm like 100% sure you are, with you overthinking their reactions. And a lot of this could be their insecurities as well, because like I said, you're a high vibrational person healing. And yeah, with toxic, you could, I'm not saying everything negative is someone else or the other party, but you know, who cares about the other parties? I'm not saying who cares like that, but I'm saying like it's not about what they're feeling, but just to kind of validate, like they're not taking this well either. They're just, taking it out. They're just getting through it by doing what they usually do: gossiping, complaining, self-pity, projecting, talking about you behind your back. You already understand this. This is the same old stuff. All cap. So they could be capping like things are cool. We could read on this energy for a little bit just to kind of validate the collective and what has taken place. So it says nature is calling you. It wants to touch, fulfill, and protect you with its healing powers. Nature is calling you. I'm seeing with this card, they could be like throwing you under the bus, smear campaign, slandering your name. Like I just feel like, when like they're going below the belt, like I feel like they're just taking everything's out on the table now, because maybe they didn't expect for you to like act like this. And they could be like cyber stalking you or asking people about you. Like I'm hearing they're frantic, like their heart chakra is jumping too, but like I said, they're not handling any of this in a positive way. So we got, you are caught up in drama in reverse. So see, but they're definitely caught up in drama. And it says act to free yourself, change, and blossom again. So, that's the thing. That's the reward. You're not in the drama anymore. You're now healing. So, so many, positive things are standing true, along with the pain that you're experiencing. I'm hearing comfort food. Just try to pace yourself with the comfort food. Not like binge eating or anything. Just kind of like treating yourself. If you haven't gotten pampered or something, like go book a back massage. Get a different hairstyle. A different form of self-care could be significant. Like you could already have an established self-care routine that works for you, but just sprucing it up a bit. And this one says, the lotus within you awakes. You are a master in light on high. So I'm getting ascended master energy, alchemist energy. Like this is really going to spiritually elevate you as well. I'm hearing from spirit, like you could already be spiritually high ranked, but your guides are so pleased with you and they recognize you and they celebrate you. So regardless of how you may feel physically, mentally, see what your guides have to say. Like there's messages from the other side, and they want to tell you how much they appreciate you. You know, you're probably not one to be used to being appreciated and praised and revered or respected, but your guides respect you. Your spirituality respects you. The world is reflecting back to you who you are now that you've cut out what you need to cut out. You've always internally known who you are, but now that you've gotten rid of the excess weight, the dirt off your shoulder, who you are is just becoming even more pronounced. Your energy field is clearing up, so the universe has to make room. And it, with the tower, you know, eventually the tower will reverse, and each day that goes by, the universe is making more room for you to live your most authentic life. Judgment, okay? Spirit knows exactly the hard choices you've had to make. Spirit knows what you've had to cut out. Who is left standing? You're left standing, and Spirit's not gonna just let you fall by the wayside. Okay? You're left standing. I'm here a survivor. And you know, like all my life I've had to fight, and now you don't have to be in that survival mode, like fighting for your authenticity, you know, having to be a closeted spiritualist, like freely expressing yourself, letting your chakras do what they have to do. All right, any last messages, Spirit, Universe? These candles are going out too, so yeah. Let's see. You're becoming more in sync with the universe. Nine of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. Slow and steady. The universe is in sync, is now becoming in sync, because now your energetic signature is the real thing. Like you don't have anybody tainting and poisoning your energy field. The Hanged One in reverse again. So there could be some things that you're stubborn about, that you're refusing to like acknowledge, but that's all a part of the grieving process. I feel like you're bargaining with yourself. You know, I'm hearing from Spirit, don't sell yourself short. Don't bargain with your soul. Don't bargain with your heart. Don't bargain with your mind. They all make up who you are. 10 of Cups. So this is like finishing the reading. Like you may not see this, and you may be feeling the reverse 10 of Cups. But this level of emotional fulfillment will be like very light and airy. And the heaviness that you feel now, if you just flip that, you know, just keep your eye on the bigger picture. Spirit is calling judgment on this situation. Spirit you know, is like a weighted blanket on you and knows the suffering and the pain. You know, you could relate to or look up Buddhism, principles of Buddhism, because it talks about suffering for enlightenment. What else? Buddhism and Hinduism. Eastern religion, basically, not Western. Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. So after you get through what this is, you know, these are two cards signifying endings. So you're going through two major endings. Like the swords represents your mental, so your crown and your heart. So you're going through, I feel like you've already, you know, done a lot of internal healing on a soul level, but now your heart and your mind need to heal to come full circle. I'm hearing a Holy Trinity. So your soul, you saved your soul, you healed your soul, and now you have to heal your heart and your mind. King of Wands. And there is action in, what do you call that? Just because spiritual work is still work. So spiritual action, what do you call that? Transmutation of energies, like transmuting energies is still King of Wands as fuck. Like, so don't think you're not doing something, you know? Don't think what you're doing is like minuscule. And I keep hearing that with the Hanged One in reverse. Like, you think what you're doing is not, like, there's no what do you call it? There's no like, it doesn't matter or it doesn't make a difference. You're purging right now. Like, you're actually, you're King of Wands. Like, just because you're not out, you know, physically moving your body to a certain extent, or, you know, traveling or something, you could be in one spot, you know, meditating, journaling, listening to music. You know, it's not about the space that you're occupying. Like, that's why I'm hearing, like, really, there really are some messages on the other side that's like some spiritual messages. You know, only I can deliver so much, you know, and you know, not putting so much faith in humans. Like, spirit guides and spirits, like, they have knowledge too, and the 5D is way more, that's where you manifest in the 5D. There's a lot that the other side has to offer. 5 of Cups. You could just be feeling regret for how things played out. And once again, I'm hearing survivor, but survivor's guilt. Survivor's guilt, you know, when you know you did the right thing by saving yourself, but you still feel guilty for the fact that you saved yourself, and you know the result of everyone else in said situation that you got out of. Yeah, Ace of Swords, Ace of Spades. So it's like, you know, for lack of a better word, the demise, the slow demise of people who are unawakened have to go through, but, you know, they made their bed, you know, and so you can't feel guilty for, you know, someone that doesn't want to be saved. Once again, J. Cole coming through, no role models, J. Cole, and don't save her, don't save them, they don't want to be saved. So you feeling survival guilt, okay, but these folks don't want to be saved. So, you know, Save yourself. Spirit's calling judgment. Oh, I don't even know how this was. I think it was like that. The Fool in reverse. Yeah, like you don't have to try to pull anyone into a new beginning. Nine of Wands. You know, Spirit is advising you to stay firm on your boundaries in order to have your soul, your heart, and your mind come full circle and 4 wands into stability. So, yeah. Trying to see if I can pull one more of these cards. A difficult path is being revealed. Ask for help and learn that we are all connected. So, you know, Spirit is acknowledging that this indeed is a difficult path. And it's not, it takes a special type of willpower and seriousness, tenacity, strength to make this type of move, because it's not for the faint of heart, which you're not, and you're healing that. I'm hearing don't turn back, because if you do, or it's going to be a wrong turn. So stay firm on your boundaries. You got this, collective, okay? Y'all keep feeling like things are just... Any last messages, Spirit? Any last messages, universe? You know, seeking professional help, once again, daily. Pray on a daily basis, multiple times a day. Beware of self-sabotage. And with humble, I think this just means like staying aware and mindful of the bigger picture about think about what you're gaining, and you know, pray on a daily basis, think about what you're gaining, and you know, try to be mindful of self-sabotage. With the High Priestess, you understand everything correctly, and so it's just about, you know, holding true in that and maintaining that, and you know, not letting anyone or anything get in the way of your level up, of your healing, of your life. Like you're starting, you've already began your new life, like your whole new life. And the universe with this tower coming out every single day, like so many, Spirit is like knocking so many things down, all these glass ceilings that were put in place in your energetic footprint. All these glass ceilings are being shattered every single day with daily tower moment. You have the victory. You're gonna be the ultimate embodiment of the Queen of Pentacles, and that's whether, regardless of gender, because you're still gonna be loving, nurturing, caring. You're still gonna have emotion. You're gonna celebrate at the end of this, okay? your guides are already celebrating you. Spirit is celebrating you. So see what the other side has to say. You know, whatever form of divination you feel comfortable with. I believe you will find some comforting messages. But yeah, thank you for staying tuned. This is Bree with Reads and Rituals. See you next time.